It's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Get it. And boom. What's up? Welcome back, goddammit, to another edition of Tell Me a Joke, the Guideline Attention to Dream. I'm your host, Maniacal, Menace, Kyle Smith. Say the whole thing like a pimp named Slickback. And today, goddamn, we have the silly man. You came on with hella stories already, and I'm tickled by how this may go. This is gonna be great, man. Put y'all hands together for the hilarious one, Joshua Jordan. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sound effects.
Yes,
that was
sir.
such a good intro too.
Thank you,
You were
sir.
doing that. I was like, "This is smooth."
This
is already a banger.
Running into it. How's your day, man?
It's good, dude. It's good.
Hell yeah. We're at the comfortable purple couch of the Post.
I love this couch. It's so comfy. And you brought up neither of our feet are touching the floor right now.
No.
We're just hanging. It's like when you're on an operation table when you're a kid and they're just swinging.
Hey, give me the plastic.
Yeah.
It's cold in here, and I want to wear the gown. And my cheeks are out, and I don't know if I'm going to have to cough for this man or not. You know? Good times. When the last time you had a physical?
Recently, actually. Recently, like a month ago.
Why?
I hadn't had one in like 15 years.
Oh, that's
But my job, so we have insurance through our company, and our company's also like, we'll pay for your insurance, but like you have to do your part.
Yeah.
So if you're not healthy, like we have to fix it.
Right.
So we have to do physicals. And it was the first one I had done since I was probably like 14, I think.
Yeah.
I did it for football when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was very nervous about doing it because I was like, I hadn't gone to a doctor in 15 years.
Yeah.
I don't drink anymore, but I drank really heavy for 10.
Oh,
and
okay.
Dude, I lived like pretty hardcore. So I was pretty sure I was going to go and the doctor was going to be like, this is it. Like, we're done here. We're taking the insurance. That's number one. But it was great. The woman actually told me, she said, I don't normally see numbers this low. And I was like, this is genetics.
So you're healthy. Got that, yeah. So you would hope that it's always genetics that's what gets you through those years of heavy drinking.
Oh, yeah.
I realized that after because you're from New Orleans as well, right? You from Louisiana?
I'm from Louisiana. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana.
Lafayette.
Yeah.
Born and raised?
Born and raised.
Man, how's that?
It's very cool. I think perspective, right? Because when I lived there, I'm like, this is just where I live. But I've lived in Houston for almost a year now. September is going to be a year.
Fresh to it. All right.
And now when I go back, it's just funny, you know? It's like things you're used to. I look at now and I'm like, I didn't realize how small it was here or how slow life moves here. You know? Yeah. But it's good. I mean, it's a nice place. People are good for the most part, you know?
Yeah, my stepmother is from Carencro, Louisiana, and a good amount of UFC fighters are from out that area, Lafayette, and Dustin Poirier, and Daniel Cormier. But anyway, I do miss going back home from time to time. But I go home and I'm like, oh, this is so much easier to deal with than the big bustle and hustle of the city out here. Everything's so goddamn far. Everything's so far, and I don't care for the farness of things. You know, this here is like how long did it take you to get here?
This was not bad.
I know, right?
I live in downtown Houston, so 8 minutes.
You got a prime. Ooh,
8 minutes.
You got a prime spot, sir.
Yes.
You have a prime spot. This right here is like the neutral area for everybody when I meet them. Mm-hmm. Like when I tell them to meet me here, they're like, "Oh man, that's like 20 minutes away." I'm like, "Good." Yeah. The person that showed me this area is Nine the Poet showed me this spot, and I have been coming here ever since. There's 2 sets of stairs. There's this brown stairs, and there's a cross stairs over there where everybody take their pictures at, and then there's the circle stairs in the middle where everybody eats at, and it's delicious. The food is delicious. They got Yo-Yo hot dogs or Yummy's hot dogs. I don't know. It's an Asian man that makes hot dogs, and they're amazing.
That has to be good.
Yeah, it is. It's something else.
It's so funny you said people take pictures. I forgot to tell you I completely ruined someone's picture on the way up here because they were taking pictures on the stairs and I wasn't paying attention because I saw you up here, so I looked up and I just walked right through the shot and I knew because I heard the woman. She just went. Like they had probably tried a few.
Yeah.
I was the last straw.
Yeah, that was
I
a
don't
good
think
one,
they took the
dude.
picture. I think she was like, it's not meant to happen. It's just not meant. But this was very close, and it's funny you mention everything being far, because when I moved to Houston, being from a small town, it's like everything adjacent is about 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
So when I moved to Houston, you want to take every spot when you're a new person in a comedy scene, and people would be like, you want to come do a thing in Conroe, or you want to come do I'm in Beaumont, and I would plug that in. It's 2 hours I'm like driving 2 hours for a $20 spot, so I learned. I know now.
Okay, but because I just had a different conversation, and it's on the poetry side. You are on the comedy side. You have been out here doing the thing, sir. You have been out here hustling and bustling, and you have been making moves. Like what? Also, you're in a prime area. Let me let everybody. He's in a prime area to do this, okay? Because it ain't easy what he's doing. It is amazing that you're capable of being able to do it, and you're getting everywhere. Like how is that,
dude? It's so amazing. Like, so being in the good area, so by design, because when I moved to Houston, it was for comedy.
Yeah.
And so I actually just Googled, where's the Riot, where's the secret group, and I looked for apartments right there. And coming here from a small comedy scene, I was like, it would be really cool if, let's say the point we're at now, a year in, I've kind of gotten to know people and I've made some connections. But this has like so exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
I feel like the comedy scene is so strong here.
Yeah.
But there's so much opportunity at the same time.
Yeah.
So I've seen like the best of both worlds. Where I'm from, Lafayette, we have 2 open mics every week.
Oh, Jesus.
And maybe 1 monthly showcase you can get on every few months.
Every few months.
So it's like, if you miss the open mic on Tuesday, we got 7 days to wait. So I wanted to come to Houston, and I wanted to do more.
Feeling.
And then you have other scenes, like I went to Austin recently to visit, and they very much have the stage time, but there's like a million comics that live there.
That's the LA all over again.
Exactly.
And I can't do it. I went to my 9 months living in LA, and who cares if I keep telling this story? It needs to be told.
That's right.
It needs to be told.
I haven't heard it.
Oh, exactly.
So it needs to be told.
You're in
It
the
needs to be
prominent.
told.
You're in the prominent section for comedy to be doing what comedy is supposed to do. And like in LA, they're just a lot of motherfuckers out there, and maybe 1 or 2 of them are good. 1 or 2 of them. And the rest of those motherfuckers, either they're going to try to fake the funk because this is what's going to get them noticed, or they're going to try to tag along with this good person right here.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of tag-alongs out there.
I bet.
And it is gross. Like, you can feel the energy of people like, oh, you steal. Y'all look like a whole bunch of thieves out here. None of this is what I want to be part of. Like, none of this. And then when people do get that sense of fame and notoriety, they become arrogant as a motherfucker. And it's like, well, now I looked at you as this person, now I want to beat you up now.
Yeah.
Because now you're not what I assumed you would be, because you have this little star under your ass. And it's like, all right.
And it's so funny how people will change up. Like when they do get some momentum on their side, it's like suddenly they pretend like they don't know what it's like to be the person 6 months into comedy.
Right.
Or the one at the bottom of the open mic list.
Yeah.
And it's like the entitlement. And to me, I'm like, some of my people I look up to the most, who you know well, like people like Tyler Arsenault and Jason, who have a decade of experience. Shout outs. Love those guys so much. But they never give you that entitlement. They're always like so welcoming, and I think that's so important, dude.
It definitely is, especially in this community when it comes to comedians, because comedians are broken toys. We are the broken toys that need to be fixed, and the stage times is the band-aids. And I have been missing the stage times that I would prefer to have, like because I'm way out in the boonies, so being able to get around and do shows and everything, now that I have a kid, a baby, and a family and shit like that, it's like, it's hard to get out. And it was always difficult for me to get around to do shows and such, because I was like, I need something to be lucrative. Like, I can't just come out here and do this and do that like I was in my younger days, just because now I have more to rely on. I have more to worry about now. Like, you know, so it's like, all right, what's gonna get me to where I'm trying to go? And so normally now I'm just doing book shows, which is fun. You know, I didn't ask for it, but I mean, I asked for it, but it's not like I'm searching out for it. I'm seeking it out now because I'm supposed to be calming down now.
Right.
Man, my wife was like, you need to stop all these shows and shit. I'm like, I can't. This is the passion. So, like, I've calmed down. And so every now and then from off of the workings that I've done in the past, I'm able to get shows, just people booking me with shit. But being out here doing comedy, noticing that like it was going to be difficult for me to go around and do what I wanted to do, I went to the poetry side. And I was like, oh, and we just had this debate. It wasn't a debate. Like he just brought up the fact that I was like, what do you think is better out? What do you think is doing better out here, the comedy scene or the poetry scene? He was like, the poetry scene is doing better. And I was like, oh, well, now I have a guest coming on that I beg to differ. He would probably think differently about that. Like, so you're in it. Like, so it's, you can see the flourishing of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what are the shows, like the shows that you have been doing, like the roast battles and such? How many people is that like bringing in?
Oh, I mean, so for You Look Like specifically, probably like 80 or 90, something like that. Whatever the capacity is at the Riot,
right?
Which I think is about 80 or so. It sells out almost every time.
That's what I assumed. That's what I was assuming. Because I was like, oh, you just on the poetry side, so you don't really see like the little. I was comparing it to the smaller open mic rooms and everything, which is just to build up to. Oh, look, this is just to show you that we got comedy here. Come to the bigger shows that we have going on, the more book shows with more promising people. Because I picture it as, because the poetry shows that I do, they're open mics. So I try to calibrate that to a comedy open mic, which isn't the same. Because most of the times when it comes to poetry, it's just poetry. So that's all you think of it as. People don't see it as an open mic. People just see it as an open space.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, just a place that you can come and go ahead and express yourself. Anybody can get up. But when it comes to comedy, that's open mic where these motherfuckers come to practice on their art, their craft that they're doing. It's not a place to where like, oh, I got something, I wrote something, so let me. No, you can't do that here.
Right.
That doesn't happen here. If you don't do comedy, then you don't just get up on a comedy stage thinking that, oh, because I wrote something today, let me go ahead and get it here. It don't work like that out here.
No,
it don't work like that out here at all. Which is, I guess, it's a good thing. It weans out the people just wanting to fucking think that they're comedians and just hop up on the stage.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even the year that I've lived here, the amount of people I've seen come and go from the open mic scene, it's crazy, dude. And so you almost need some kind of, I don't want to say like a barrier to entry, because I think everyone that wants to do an open mic for comedy should be able to, for sure. Right. But also you have to do some kind of like standard to hold people to, otherwise we'll be flooded with people. Yeah. Like we don't want 60 people at an open mic. Yeah.
True. Jesus. Like that's why I look at that Austin thing and I'm like, if you want to do that, go for it. But you're a little fish in a big ass pond, and then just wait to that right there, and the hardship and the turmoil that you're gonna go through by listening to 1,000 motherfuckers that are garbage just to get through to that one person that might have been like, oh, this was good. It is grueling night by night. That's how it was in LA. Motherfuckers, they assume that, oh, I need to be a shock value comic because that's what comedy is, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, who's telling y'all these things?
Where'd you get this from?
Where is this coming from? And they would get up there and say the most heinous of shit and thinking that that's what funny was. And I'm like, oh, you ain't got friends. You ain't got who are you talking to like this? Like, I don't.
If you had friends, someone would tell you, this is not it. This is not what you're doing right now. Yeah. This is just bad.
It is. There's so many places, and I was like, I don't know where to go. I just wanted to know. I wanted to find somebody to let me in through the back door and be like, oh no, here where the cool kids are. You come this way. And I didn't find any of that. Like, I was able to go ahead and do certain things at the Comedy Store, which is cool. That was the back door for me. It was like, amazing. Oh, this is where the cool kids at. Come this way. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But in other places, like me trying to be on my own out there, I'm like, yo, this isn't it.
Mhm.
This is not what I'm used to. I'm used to like a good camaraderie and team. You know, out here, everybody for themselves. And then I found a poetry community, and I was like, oh, this is like Valley High, you know, some type of fucking Sweet 16 type of movie. You know, like, oh, after everybody gets off work, we just gonna go hang out at the beach, and then after that, we gonna go recite poetry.
Yeah.
What? The fuck out of here! Everybody just dancing around a bonfire next to the water.
Yeah.
Ah, was that an earthquake? Who cares? You know,
Don't worry about
we
it.
are living. That was the amazing part of California, and me finding that type of scene. But everything else was no. I'm good. Yeah.
I think that's what so I've never been to California, but that's what I hear. That's what I definitely saw in Austin. And I think what's so special about where we are right now, and but remind me, I want to check out, I don't know anything about the poetry scene. I'd love to come check it out sometime.
Definitely.
If it's anything like the comedy scene, I would love to come see it too, because I think what's so special about Houston is like, there's so many opportunities, and our open mics have crowds.
Yeah.
There's very seldom, I think maybe twice, I've gone to an open mic and there's no audience. There's usually like 10 to 15 people. So to make that stage time count is so valuable.
Exactly. That's why I chose the route that I chose, because even though I'm not doing comedy per se, I do comedy poetry. So it's still me writing comedy, but in the style of a poem. So whenever I do go out there, I still feel as if I'm being on stage doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but it is not in the comedy rooms. It is in a more easier room because these poetry scenes are ridiculous. And to come out to like the poetry stage, man, there are so many motherfuckers out there. It's a different feel. It is a different feel because late night dirty show. Late night dirty show. It is a midnight show that pulls motherfucking people in there, and I'm like,
dude.
yo, and these motherfuckers know what they're coming for, and they're also coming in the state of a late night dirty motherfucker, a late night dirty patron that is prepared for some dirty shit. And so those, I get so surprised when I see that shit, because I'm like, man, the shows that were normal that they had before here weren't as big. They still had people in there, but they bring in extra chairs for that fucking late night dirty show, man. I just to be able to pull people in for a midnight show, on top of that, a midnight show, and have people there for the rest of the time. Patrick Eady, kudos, sir. Fucking
Absolutely.
hell yeah.
I did it this week. I did it Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And both nights, I mean, it was full.
It's so wild.
And the thing is, it kicks off at midnight. So these
Yeah.
people are there till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And still bringing the same energy, like still into it.
No, that shit's scary. It scares me sometimes.
Me too.
Because I usually I sometimes if I'm in there and I do a show before, he'd be like, hey, maybe you come on a show? Sure, cool. You know, because the show before, it was a light, mild type of show. Still had a good amount of people there. And then you get that 12 midnight crowd, and it's like, oh, these motherfuckers are rowdy.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of them. It's like, man, I don't know if that first set is gonna work for this crowd.
There was one night, it's so funny you say that. There was one night I did the best of show. I did like a guest spot on the best of show. And I had, I think, one of the best sets of my life. I got off stage and I felt so confident.
Yeah.
Everyone was coming up to me. They were like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
You did so good. I did the same set on the midnight show, and it was the worst set.
Oh, no. Comedy.
Like, That's comedy, dude. It's like such high highs and such low lows.
Yeah.
To where you ride the wave, and that night I was like, I wish I would have just quit while I was ahead. I was like, I didn't even let it sit in.
Gamble.
But it's like, when you know too, as a
gamble.
performer, it's like when you are riding the high, you're also like, let's keep it going.
Yeah,
I want more.
Usually when I'm riding that high, that negative demon comes. It's like, hey, when's that bad one gonna come? It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
It's like, get out of there, you little fucker. I don't want to think about that. Oh.
I say that all the time. If it's been like 2 weeks and
you just
everything's
doing good.
going well, I'm like, it's
coming.
It's due.
It's
I'm due for a horrible,
Definitely
horrible night.
due. Oh, you're never ready for it.
Yeah.
I am never ready for it when it's due. I've had one of those moments where It was a bad time. I've only got booed once, but I wasn't prepared for it. Like I understood it was gonna go shitty, but I didn't expect the booze was gonna come. But it was a friend. He set me up every time. I just try to be a friend with people, and they always put me in the stupidest situations. And it's like, this is never gonna go good for me. This is not gonna go good. This is not my crowd. I don't know how to go about this. I remember there's a show that I did. It's at the Cajuns Comedy, Cajuns with a K, and I think. And I did 2 shows. I was booked to do 2 shows there. Never got paid. It was only $75, but that motherfucker never paid me.
Damn.
But still, I had 2 shows, and I went up. And my kind of style of comedy is kind of like for mixed audiences. I know what I do. Like I can portray to like all black audiences, all white audiences, but sometimes, mainly for me, if I want to be comfortable, it's a mixed crowd. So I'm like, cool. I go up there and I do my thing that I assume kills everywhere. And I do not do well. And I am like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is not, but I realize that what I'm doing for that audience, it is not the material that I should do. And so I was like, oh, I need to switch things up. And so that whole time when I'm watching, another dude goes up, Ray, etc. Shout out to Ray. I'm gonna try to get him on. He goes up there, he smashes it. And I'm like, oh no, I felt terrible.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to redeem myself. So I got another show coming up, so I had to switch out the material, and I did. I switched it up, but I switched it up into a manner to where it's like, oh, this isn't normally me,
Yeah.
but this is what I had to do to make myself feel better.
Right.
And it's like, all right, I see what it is, and that's not the first time. That's not the last time I had to do that. There was an instance where I had to do that on the poetry side as well, and it sickens me that I had to do it, but I wanted to win. I wanted to at least go on to the next round. I knew I wasn't gonna win everything, but it was for the slam finals.
Okay.
So I made the slam finals in the poetry scene, and I've accumulated enough points. I did well in the slams that we've had, so I was able to go to this finals, and I was on the finals. And when it comes to poetry isn't for the silly.
Right.
And I understood that. So that's why I wanted to go in there, because I knew I'd be able to make a name and a face for myself, because I'm not coming to do the sad shit. And so I was like, all right, I'm coming here. And I've gotten far enough with the silliness, but that's not what most people are used to in poetry. So when it came to the finals, for me to actually pass to the next round, I did well enough, but I was just able to skim on by, because I told myself, I was like, I can't keep this silly because the crowd ain't for silly right now. The people that are judging aren't for the silly shit.
Yeah.
They want black and sad. And so I was like, okay, I need to give them black and sad. And I got a few black and sads in the chamber.
Yeah.
I hate having to do them because it's not me. That's not my style.
You would rather go do your thing.
Yeah. I'd rather be silly than talk about your grandma real quick. Some shit like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But instead, I'm like, I won't win. And boom, black and sad. And boom, have people, oh my God. And so, I skimmed on by to the next round. And I was like, all right, cool. I get to have fun and brag about being in the finals.
Hell yeah.
But other than that, yeah, that was it. I didn't win.
Yeah. But making it, I mean, dude, that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, I was very mad that I had to go that route, though.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to write better is what I'm saying. I guess what I'm telling myself is like, oh, this is good, but your silliness doesn't trump the black and sadness that's in this room. So your silliness needs to be even more sillier.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what can be sillier? I don't know.
Yeah. I think that happens in comedy too so much. It's like I've had some instances where you just look at the room that you're in, right? Like I've done really I did a room in Orange, Texas one time. In Orange, Texas, have you been?
No.
Don't. Don't even worry about it. You're not missing anything. I did a show in a pool hall, and I think it was mostly older. I'd say the median age is probably like 65 in this room, and they're also all smoking cigarettes and drinking Michelob Ultras, and everyone has cowboy boots. Yeah. And I'm sitting there with, do you know Mackenzie Jewell?
Yeah.
And we're just looking at each other like they're gonna hate. They're gonna hate everything. And so that was just a moment where I was like, I just dug deep and I thought about old bits, and I was like, this is enough to get out of here. like to make it out, you know?
Dug deep. Gotta
Yeah.
get in here.
I was like, what could I even say right now?
Yeah.
And I just sometimes to your point,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I
you
didn't
know,
want
I want to
to.
do my jokes and I want to do like
Right.
my material. But in that moment, I was like, I also don't want to get punched in the face either.
Yeah, I remember doing comedy. Another one of the shows that a friend of mine set us up for and just royally fucked over us. Royally. Oh man, he said there was a show that he set us up for, and he also booked some bigger name comics on it, which are our friends, but they're in the city. There were bigger name comics, and it was a place far, far away. We had to drive to it, and we was like, all right, we driving out there. And he was like, where we gonna stay at? He's like, don't worry, you can stay by my people's house. And it's like, what? So we get out there, and these people got a big ass dog in the middle of the room. They ain't shutting the fuck up. It's in the cage. It's just barking.
Did they warn you?
No. No,
That's
of course not.
That's crazy to not even mention the dog.
This is where we're gonna stay at, though. Like,
They'll see it.
You can sleep on this sofa. I'm like, oh, next to the dog cage? My God, the dog ain't shut up yet. The dog is gonna have a throat problem by the time we leave here. Like, this is not a place I want to sleep.
Of course
I was
not.
like, where's such and such sleeping? They coming out here. Well, I got them a hotel. What? Wait, why we don't get the hotel, man? Fuck them.
Yeah.
Have them sleep here. What do we mean? What are we doing?
Yeah.
We're your friends. Like, why do we have to? He's like, nah, man, it's cool. I'm like, man, whatever, man. Let's go to the show. We get to the show, right? And apparently he got to pay the DJ everything, so he can't pay us nothing. And so we get out there. We didn't know this until we got there. So we get out there. Apparently the DJ is expensive, and the DJ is trash. The DJ is using his little skibbies and his little ad-libs to fuck over our sets. And it's like, what the fuck? So we shit on the DJ, and the DJ cuts our mic off, and it's like, yeah. First off, ain't nobody in this bitch. Ain't nobody in here at all. The DJ and the owner and us and maybe like two other little like real bad black motherfuckers came in. And I ostracized them, said some shit, bitch, we can take it outside. And then the people that was with me, the people that he got a hotel for, it was like, motherfucker, we don't know you like that. We ain't gonna help you fight. I'm like, oh, fucked over myself. Okay, rule number one. don't fuck over the audience when you're in a place you don't know.
Yeah.
So, we fucking finished that show. We zip on out of there. The trash ass show. And apparently he recorded it and everything. I don't know why he did that. He had somebody record it. He had to pay him money too. So, yeah, I don't know what money he got to pay these motherfuckers. And we was leaving. He wanted to go to the strip club. I was like, fuck that, man, let's go. The people that came out that he got the room for, they came to the strip club, and then they bounced from the strip club and was like, hey, man, we going home. He was like, wait, y'all going to the room? He was like, nah, we going home. I was like, y'all about to drive all the way back? And that man, fuck that room. He's like, what? I'm like, bitch, can we get the room now? He's like, nah.
If no one's staying in
right, ain't nobody. And I'm like, dude, you're a trash ass friend. Also, these are trash gigs that you always try to throw. He got a mouthpiece for being able to just find gigs that are like, oh, this is pretty cool, but then he don't do enough promotion or whatnot, and don't nobody be there. It'd be terrible.
Yeah,
and it's just like, stop talking to people. Just stop, because you always.
You know
try
what?
to help us out.
We've done enough. This isn't for you.
Yeah.
Let's.
You always put us in dumb situations. You never. He hasn't transitioned from the jokes that he's told since we first met him. So it's like, how do you expect this to work?
Yeah.
Terrible host.
You see some people really, they'll be like 10 years into stand-up doing the same 5 minutes.
Oh.
And it's not even killing. Like, I don't think it's okay, but I can understand if someone was killing every time and they're like, I don't want to not kill. But you're not even doing, fine.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's
It's not
something
working.
Listen, there's
haven't
something to
tweaked
this
it?
O.J. Simpson joke. I'm going to figure it out. They're like, I'm
10
not
years
done.
in, you haven't found it out yet? Man, it's outdated now.
Yeah.
You're going to have to wait till it circles back around and go ahead and use it again. Good times.
It's so funny you mentioned that DJ thing too at that show. You just reminded me, I did a Christmas party one time, and like doing private things is the worst. It's the worst comedy situation to be in. Like someone's birthday party or
you did a Christmas party? Oh
I
my
did a
God.
Christmas party.
Oh my God.
By the way, so this was by a coworker. This is when I lived in Louisiana still, and he is a musician.
Yeah.
And he said, I want to do a Christmas party. I'm going to do music. You do comedy. ahead of time, it starts at midnight. And already I'm like,
shit.
that sounds like it's not for me. But I care so much about other people. And he's my friend. So I'm
Okay.
like, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
So I get there at like 11:40.
Good nice
I'm like,
guy.
we'll get started soon. He's like, well, we're gonna probably wait a little bit. We want people to get here, whatever. So then 1 a.m. comes around, and I'm like,
no.
surely we should start now, probably. And he's like, we probably won't kick it off till like 2:15.
Nah, yo.
And at this point, I'm like, this is when I should have been like, I'm just gonna go. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. So I go up at 2:15 in the morning at a Christmas party, and it's in a bar, and there's one door to get in the bar, and it's right by where I'm standing. So people are just walking in and out of the bar, and to the other side of me, there's a DJ in the booth. He's also the owner of the bar.
He
And-
DJing?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's not playing music. He's not doing anything like that. He is just using his microphone to critique how my set is going.
No.
So when I would tell a joke that worked, he would be like, that's funny.
Oh.
And then when I would do one that didn't work, he would still go, that wasn't funny.
No.
And I'm like, let me tell you something. I know which ones are funny. I can tell by how everyone else, like, I don't need
the banter.
It's not like I'm turning, like, if they don't laugh, I'm going to look at him and be like, what's that?
Yeah.
They didn't like that?
You're not part of my act, sir. Like,
Yeah. No, he wasn't at the time. Now we tour together.
How the tables have turned,
A
sir.
2-man show.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, how long have you been doing comedy for?
It'll be 3 years in September.
Oh, you're a freshie.
I'm still very new. Yeah.
Yes. That's why you're so gung-ho
Yeah.
to get in there. I love that. Yeah. Usually after a while, like once you get a few years in, you're like, okay, I need this to do something that I needed to do. And because in the beginning, like I feel I'm a product of many missed opportunities. Like, or being right there on the cusp of something and then not being around when it pops off, and it's like, I was there. I was right there.
Yeah.
I was in the door. You know, I had a lot of those moments, but it feels like those moments are there because something bigger is happening.
Yeah.
Like I see it in other people, and it's like, oh yeah, he's doing the right thing. He's doing the right thing. But the stage is where it needs to be to make everything much better. Like, I need to be on stage to have the memorization patterns of what I'm saying down. Like, even though I'm writing it, that's just like me being book smart. I can go ahead and do all of the reading and all that I want, but it doesn't transfer over to the stage
Right.
just yet. I need to get the feel of being on stage, and that's being out here. It makes it easier to do that, and makes it easier to find a support system, which is going to be able to take you places. But especially when you're fresh at it, like, everybody looks at you as a new face and just want to see what you got.
Yeah.
And as long as you got something good that they like, they're gonna fuck with you. And I've been enjoying that out here. And as long as I feel as if I'm still writing something good and something new, then I don't have that fear of being stagnant or missed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been having to fucking tell myself that a lot because apparently ain't enough meditation to go ahead and get this mental on track. And it's just like, I'm a broken toy, and I get it. You know, I try.
Are we all? If we're doing stand up, I know you know Will Loden, of course,
Yes.
and I love Will so
Will
much.
Loden.
And I saw him headline at the Riot last month.
Yeah.
And he said something in his set. I almost started crying laughing because he was talking about, and this is not even a joke he has. I think he was just riffing. And he was talking about when people say that they do comedy because they just want to make other people laugh. He's like, I don't give a fuck about that. He's like, I do this because I'm sick. And he said it in that accent, like that country. I do this because I'm sick. And I was like, yeah, us too.
I definitely need to be on somebody's stage just so I can feel better about myself. Like, I realize the longer that I am from the stage, my wife, she's about to go to Austin. She's taking the baby to Austin for a week.
Nice.
And it's like, I get upset and sad when they leave because I love having my family around.
Of course.
But when they leave, it's like, oh, let the mischief commence.
Yeah.
What stage am I going to be getting on? I have all of this free time. It's either playing video games or I'm going to hop on somebody's stage and do this work. And I need that to happen. I just so I can get my fix in from time to time. Because I've been doing this for way too long to say that I haven't been on stage as much as I'm supposed to be. You know, like, so it's just like, where's your favorite place to write?
Man. I honestly, at my job, like at work.
Okay, I've been mentioning that as well.
Yeah.
That is the only place, and I was like, I can focus more when I'm at my job just because I have to focus on one task. And if I want to think about something else as I'm focusing on this one thing, it makes it real simple. Yeah.
Because I think at work, you're already kind of locked in. Like you already got your thinking, right?
Yeah, right.
And so, you know, I'll just kind of like have a thought and I'll be like, oh, I got to write this down. And then, you know, a little time will go by for sure. But I think just when you're out living your life outside of work, like, your time is yours. Yeah. Right? When you're at work, your time is not yours. You're there to do something.
Right.
And so, sometimes it just hits you, you know?
Those times where you don't have anything else to think about. And it's like, oh, since you ain't worrying about bills, dabble with this thought real quick. See what you feel about it. It's like, oh, shit, hold on. What do you do for work?
I'm a software instructor.
Instructor?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I work at a company that they provide car dealerships their computers, their software that they use to work all their deals in the parts department and service department. And I just teach the dealership employees how to use the computers.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's a new job. I didn't have that when I moved here. I waited tables before that for 12 years.
Oh, how did you? Okay, so how do you fall into that then?
Honestly, so someone I used to wait tables with, she got a job there. And I knew that she lived in Houston. And so when I was ready to finally be done with that
move,
I saw that they were hiring online and I messaged her and I was like, hey, do you still work here? Is it good? And she put in a good word for me and I got in over there.
Oh, connections. It's always good to network. Networking is great. Like, you're a product of the network. Like, you can definitely, like, the things that you have been doing since you've been out here, you've hit the ground running, and it's fun to see. It's fun. I've never watched you do stand up yet, and I'm just
we've never seen each other do stand up.
We came across each other because you were in Galveston, and I had just finished the show,
and I missed it by like 20 minutes.
Yeah, which is crazy how the serendipitousness works of just when you find somebody and it's like, oh, we gonna be friends. I see it already. I see 100%. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be around each other. Just how shit like that happens, like, because that was my first time ever going to Galveston since I've been here. Like, I went to the beach. I took somebody to the beach and it was disgusting. But
it's bad at Galveston. That's always the first 5 minutes of my set is talking bad about Galveston to them. I say that every time.
It is different.
I'm like, your water tastes gross here. Actually, my opening line was, you guys have a lot of fat people on motorcycles. Have you ever noticed that? And they love it. They start dying. They're like, we do. We really do.
Yeah. I went out there and I assessed the city and I was like, oh, it's a lot of tan people with Laura Croft outfits on. Like everybody's got their cargo shorts with a Texas hat, but y'all swear it's Florida. But then there's all this jagged shit all around. It's like, this ain't a beach city. Like, this motherfucker it looks like you're gonna stub your toe on something.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it just like, I'm like, there's definitely tetanus all around this area. And you might want to try to make it look. You doing duck tours and shit. And I don't understand anything about this little island of Galveston.
They don't know what's going on. The nicest building in that whole 20-mile radius is Hooters. Did you notice that?
Hooters out there?
It's beautiful.
Oh,
the
I
Hooters.
Need to go check out that Hooters, man.
The courthouse, the what do you call them? Shingles.
Yeah.
There's like missing shingles on the courthouse, and it's run down. And the Hooters looks like a 5-star hotel resort.
Yeah. Is that big? Is a big Hooters?
It's probably not that big. I think I was just comparing to the rest of it.
Yeah.
It's probably not even that nice.
You haven't been inside yet?
No. I just passed it. And I was like, this is a nice place here.
Yeah, the brewery that we were at, that's where you've been having the show?
Yeah.
Huh.
Devil in the Deep Brewery.
Devil in the Deep brewery. I did enjoy their beer that they had. It doesn't look like a brewery
No, it doesn't.
when you get in there. It is like, oh, this is conspicuous.
Yeah.
Y'all just duck this off in here. What you brewing? Where you brewing at? Like, let me see the tank. Do y'all have tours? Do they have tours there?
I don't think so.
Ah, that sucks. That sucks. It's always nice to have most breweries usually have a tour.
Yeah,
Like,
they'll show
can
you around.
definitely come check it out, taste test. There's I was on a Carnival cruise line, and they have a brewery there, and the guy, he's the only guy that is capable and able to brew on the ocean.
What? Really?
Yes, just because you need a certain type of vat to have that's stable, because you're on the ocean, so everything's moving,
right.
and you can't have that shit just moving and shit like that. And so he's him and maybe one other person are the only people that have a complete brewery on the ocean in a Carnival cruise line. And oh my god, this shit is amazing.
I'm sure
it is really good. It is really good. Me and my brother went down there, and there was a few. We're big. You're a big beer guy.
I was.
He
I don't drink anymore.
Oh, okay.
But I used to.
Okay. Do you dabble in the weed?
Every now and then.
Okay,
Every
that's
now and
good.
then.
That's good. Yeah, I definitely don't drink like I used to. I'm too small. I never understood why I drank so much like that.
Me neither.
But when I do drink, I do have. I'm a fan of IPAs. I'm a big IPA person, just because when I was in college, I joined the rugby team, and that's all they do is drink. They have drinking games. They're Aussie rule type shit, and that's when I started drinking beer for the first time.
Yeah.
And then just the amount, the consumption that I took when I was in college was way too much, into where I'm a big beer guy, so IPAs are the way to go. And he taught me about an IPA. There's IPAs that are dark IPAs. Most of them weren't meant to be cold. They were there to go ahead and sit and ferment. So the longer you have the IPA sit, the better it's tasting.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you can taste all of the rest of the ingredients that they put in it. So you necessarily don't have to. It's meant to sit there. Just because they was bringing shit in over on boats and they didn't have a cooling system.
Right.
So
it had to last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he taught us some shit. He was like, "Oh, I'm listening. I can learn this."
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I also wanted to brew beer myself, but I realized that takes a lot. It takes a lot of your life.
It's a lot. I mean, and so it sounds like you have a much more sophisticated palate than I did.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. You can say that.
Wait, I'll give you one. I'll give you one guess. What do you think I drank when I drank?
I would say in the Coors area, or like a light beer.
Yeah, you're right on the money.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Coors Light. I drank Coors Lights, and I would drink Fireball whiskey.
Oh, you're one of those people.
Yeah, trash.
You close around, shall man.
It was like the three worst things you could do. It was I would drink 2 pints of Fireball every night, 6 Coors
2
Lights,
pints.
2 pints, and I would smoke Camel Crushes.
Oh my
the
god!
blue pack.
Oh my god, dude! Do you take bologna sandwich with a lot of mayonnaise to work? What are we doing?
Do you realize it's like the 3 worst Fireball? They don't even sell Fireball in other countries. Like in Sweden, it's outlawed. They're like, you can't drink this.
I have a friend that drinks Fireball. Old man. That's his only. He keep it on chill. That's his only thing he drinks. He drinks a whole little pint of Fireball every day, and I'm like, that is disgusting. That's like right on the realms of Jägermeister, and I can't do neither of those.
Jägermeister makes me want to throw up.
Oh, I throw up every time.
Yeah.
I had a friend that came down. He's in the military now, and of course, this was his drink of choice: Jaeger bombs, fucking Jaeger, and a Red Bull.
Oh, that's the Red. Yeah.
The worst combination of shit ever.
That's disgusting.
Third Jaeger bomb. I'm like, this doesn't want to stay down. Like, it's just like my body's like, what did you put in us?
Yeah.
Like, you don't even like licorice. Like, why? Why would you put sugar on top of that? And then Red Bull gives you wings, but it gave the vomit inside my body wings.
Yeah.
It projectiles every time.
It's flying.
Terrible. Like, why is Jaeger a thing?
I don't know. I don't know who that's for.
I don't either. I've watched on The Sopranos because I'm watching The Sopranos lately, and that's what Anthony Soprano was drinking. Him and his buddies, just drinking shots of Jaeger. There's nothing that comes good from Jaeger.
Nothing. And that's coming from someone who used to drink 2 pints of Fireball.
2 pints of
Like,
Fireball.
that's why I laughed when you were like, we did Jaeger bombs, and I was like, that's disgusting. Like, I just told him what I drank.
2 pints. How did you get fixated? How did that come about? How did you start drinking Fireball?
Okay, well, when I first got a serving job when I was 18, I worked at O'Charlie's. Do you know what O'Charlie's is?
Is it a St. Patrick's Day like type of restaurant?
If it was, that would be great. It's not that. It's like I just want you to think of the last time you went to Chili's and just imagine if it was way worse. That's what it's like.
It's
like,
a
and I'm
bad
never happy
Chili's.
when I leave Chili's, but it's worse.
Oh,
it's very
Charlie's.
bad. Oh, that's funny.
It's not Chili's. It's Charlie's.
Oh, Charlie's. Trash. It's just trash. But that was my first serving job, and there was a Buffalo Wild Wings in the same parking lot, and so we would always go drink at Buffalo Wild Wings at the end of our shift.
Yeah.
And they had $2 shots of Fireball.
Oh.
So we would get your
That's how
tall
they
boy
get you.
beer.
Yeah.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
And then you get your $2 Fireball shot, drink about 10, 12 of those. And then it just became like, it just becomes the thing that you drink.
Oh shit.
By the way, I have to tell you, I
Yes.
have been saying that's how they get you, like as a joke, for like 3 months. I think the last time Josh Watts and Tyler were in town, that's when I started doing it. When it doesn't apply to anything either.
That's a fun
My
phrase.
boss will be like, yeah, we got to turn in those documents by about 5. And I'll be like, that's how they get you.
That's a fun phrase. You need to make a shirt now.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
Who gets you? It doesn't
They.
matter. They. You know who they are. And everybody's using those pronouns correctly.
Exactly.
That's how they get
exactly.
you.
And when you said that's how they get you just now, I was like, that's the first time I've heard someone say it,
Oh,
like
really?
unironically.
I have been throwing out phrases like yesterday. I threw out the Lyricist Lounge show.
Mhm.
Yeah, and how old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. So you're up in your 30s. That's fine. You probably don't know about this show, but it's the reference was being made to where it was like, oh, he sounds like he's talking about the Lyricist Lounge show, and he was like, what? That's where I got it from, and I was like, yo, this is a deep cut, man. Like
Yeah.
not many people know about the Lyricist Lounge show, so that is good. That means things are syncing together in the universe.
That's right.
Yeah, I need an acid trip. That's what this is telling me. I need an acid trip. Ooh.
Bring it all together.
Ooh, and I'm gonna be baby free. I'm gonna be baby and wife free.
There you go.
Next, you got me thinking, Josh.
I got you thinking.
You got me thinking.
Well, hey, listen, that's how they get you. That's how they get you. It is funny.
Oh, that's perfect.
It is funny that you say the thing about the universe, because I think we were talking about the secret group thing last night, and I still can't get over. I was telling you that the other comics in the green room kept telling me I had SpongeBob energy.
Yeah.
They were like, "You're a goofy goober, huh?" They're like, "Oh, you say you work at a software company, but we know you're actually a fry cook, and you're the best one in Bikini Bottom." Like, they kept fucking with me, which I love. Like, I was having a great
that's
time.
a good time.
And so then I hear Jamal go on stage. He's
Shout
like,
out
this
Jamal.
next guy, I love Jamal. I love Jamal. He goes, this next guy coming to the stage, he's so funny. Y'all make some noise. Says my name. And there's 2 steps to get on the stage. And I just trip on the first step. And I hit the ground. Marlo said, it sounded like you fell from 20 feet up. He was like, I don't know how you hit the stage. He's like, you're not even tall. And that collision was insane. Hit so hard. And I heard my pants rip down the middle. And I stood up, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to not do, like, we're here now.
I'm here now.
And I just
definitely.
got up
Slapstick.
there.
Let's get it.
I just leaned into it. I was like, these motherfuckers telling me I'm SpongeBob back here, and I just ripped my pants. The second I came on stage, my hand was like throbbing. I told the crowd, I was like, you know when your parents like spanked you as a kid,
Yeah.
and they were like, don't cry right now, so you have to hold it back in? I was like, that's what this whole set feels like right now.
Yo, that is perfect, dude. So you ripped your pants after they called you SpongeBob.
After. See? That's the universe. That's what I'm talking about.
That's definitely what that is.
I walked back after my set,
You're in it.
and I was like,
fuck yeah.
that couldn't have been more like to the point where I
Yeah.
think someone asked me if I fell on purpose, and I was
Yeah.
like, "You think I did? No, I didn't rip my pants on purpose."
Those stairs are it's difficult to fall up those two little bitty flights of stairs
I know.
on purpose. Like, just say, 'cause I know the stairs, and I'm like, oh, those stairs you fell up and you ripped your. Yo, how?
They're not even that high.
No.
They're like this high. They're like little steps.
And it's going between the door frame. Like, there's so many things to catch on to if you are.
I see Andy Huggins sprint up those steps to get on stage, and I face planted immediately.
Oh, if y'all don't know who Andy Huggins is, man, check him out. He's a killer
Legend.
out here. Oh my goodness. Oh, you do got some legends out here. Ali Sadiq.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
another one. Like, Texas is the place. Like, it is the place to be if you know what you're doing and you know how to navigate
Absolutely.
your way around the city. Because other than that, like the people that I've had on this podcast, that to where it has gotten to the point to where people are like, "Hey, can I come on your podcast?" I'm like, "You don't come on my podcast?" Yeah. What? You fuck yeah. Come on.
That's the best, dude.
Yeah, it is. Because in the beginning, like, of course, when things start off, it's difficult. But oh boy, like, I was like, this is very hard to just get. I mean, I don't mind talking about myself. Usually I do that, and I'll just sit down and I'll just boom, splat out some shit for an hour. You know, I can't Theo Vaughn that shit, but you know, I do have some interesting topics that I come up with on my own. But having somebody there to be like, oh, this is fun. Now I get to laugh genuinely.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But that's so cool, you know, because I know a few people who are they're in the starting phase of a podcast.
Ooh.
And so they are going through that of like asking, hey, would you
Yeah.
come do me this solid? So the fact that
Yeah.
people see what you're doing and
Yeah.
they want to be part of it, that's special, dude.
Yeah.
That's really special.
Yeah, I always think it was like, do I need a gimmick? And it's like, no, nigga, you are the gimmick. Just do what you do. And it's like, oh, okay. There's always things that I'm like, I need to revamp, but this camera is the revamp. This right here is expensive enough to be like, no, use it now because you see you didn't use your Canon. And I was like, the Canon didn't do what I needed it to do. But this is, it just butter. I love it. The setup is easy. You know, this took 4 years to get here, but we finally here now. And it's like, and then I've caught up with AI, basically. So there's a thing called Opus Clips, and there's other ones like that. But it takes podcasts and shit and just makes it into clips. And then
Someone was telling me about that recently.
man, the shit
That's
is
so
amazing.
cool.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm like, I don't know how it does it, but
It just like analyzes the video and it'll give you like, oh, here's a 30-second clip you could use. That's so cool,
yeah,
dude.
you have time frames that you can break them up into segments. You can do 30 seconds, 60 to 90 seconds. You can do a minute, 5 minutes, and it'll break it down. And then it'll break it down into sections to where they'll grade it and then be like, hey, this one got a 99 because the conversation, you had an A in the conversation, A minus in likability. The flow, you got a A plus in the flow. And it's like, yo, and they break down into segments of things. I'm like, this is frightening.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so scary.
How do they do it?
Right, and then on top of that, they give you titles. They title it itself. They like good titles. I'm like, whatever, do your thing. You know what? Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. It's making it takes a load off on me because now I don't have to edit this shit at all.
Right.
It takes 15 minutes. Bow, and I got fucking 20 little clips that I can choose from, and I just post them up, and they all do exceptionally well. And I'm like, what is the world? Who cares? I'm glad I'm in it. I'm glad I'm in it.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, I don't even know. I couldn't even begin to I still have such a tough time thinking about like how a cell phone works. So to hear that, like, I'm like, what do you mean it's going to space? Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
So that I'm just like, I can't even comprehend.
Are you into comics?
Wait, what?
Are you into comics?
I was when I was a kid.
Okay,
But
all right.
it's been
I
a
feel
long
you.
time.
All right.
It's been a long
All
time.
right. Well, you know about Superman and everything, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Well, I just learned because there's if you ever seen have you seen The Boys? You know about The Boys?
I've never watched it.
Okay, that's fine. But you know about it.
I know about it.
Okay, so there's a guy on there. His name is Homelander, and he's like a terrible Superman. You know, and so like you think it can't get any worse than this. Basically, that the boys is like if there was superheroes for real in real life, this is probably how it would go down. Like motherfuckers would die, and then they'd be like, "Oh, this is terrible," but you can't do nothing because he's a superhero,
Right.
And so there's another superhero that they based Homelander off of, and he's supposed to be worse than Homelander. And basically, this guy's name is Irredeemable. His name is Plutonian, but the comic is named Irredeemable.
Irredeemable.
Yeah, and he does shit to where it is just like, oh, that you can't be redeemed for that, dude. Like he wiped out the entire face of Singapore just because one person was like, we have ideas of how we can go ahead and be better. You better your personality and all that. You become a better superhero. And he was like, oh, I can hear the inflection in your voice that you scared of me. You know what? Fuck Singapore, and just destroyed everybody. And he was like, no, don't do that. So like they tried to stop him from destroying it. He was like, I'm going to destroy it anyway, but since you don't, pick 10 people. He was like, what? Pick 10 of them from here, and then everybody else about to die, just to let you know, like you can't stop me. So he picked 10 random people. He was like, come here.
Oh my
god, the
gosh.
last of the Singaporeans, right?
It's just you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Like, here you go. You can't even pick families. You just got to pick random motherfuckers.
I was about to ask, like, do they know each other? Or are they just 10 random people?
Yeah, random. And it's like, yo. And they're supposed to be making a Netflix show about him coming out recently. And it's like, ooh, this is very interesting. Very interesting. I got on comics for some type of reason. I think I just wanted to mention that I learned that little tidbit about this very, very evil superhero. He was good at one point, but then like he started to turn bad.
The gradual. Well, that's how they get you.
Yeah,
That is how they get you.
Now I cannot not see it as me just after a you remember on a 40-Year-Old Virgin, the cover that they had for it, it was basically just Steve Carell looking up like this.
Yeah, he's looking
or
to the right.
Anchorman. One of them, he's just
40-Year-Old
like
Virgin.
that. Yeah, so that's what I can see. Just that's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
Oh, this is good, man. This was a goddamn good time. Now, before I get out of here, I used to like to play a game with the newcomers that come on the show for the first time, because this is not be the last time. This is very fun. But I like to play a game of choices.
Okay.
So you got 4 options and 4 choices. All right. Basically, you got to be one, raise one, sell one, then have relations with the other one. Be one,
Okay.
raise one, sell one, relations with the other one.
Okay.
And your choices are mermaid, mogwai, a Mexican, and a manatee.
Oh, okay.
You know what a mogwai is?
No, I don't know what that is.
You remember Gizmo from Gremlins?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't
okay,
think so.
no problem, no problem.
Let me get a visual.
I got you. What you think about these Olympics? You watching them?
I watched some of them. I watched like last weekend when I was in Louisiana. I went
Yeah.
for some shows and I watched it with my grandma for a little while.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I ever watched the Olympics, but I did enjoy it. It was very good. Oh, okay. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Be one,
Raise one.
raise one,
Sell
one,
Relations with the other one.
relations with the other.
Yeah.
Okay, we got mermaid, that.
Mogwai, Mexican, manatee.
Man, okay. Okay. I'm not going to be a mermaid or a manatee.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
The ocean, fucking terrifying. When people are like, we don't know anything, like, think of everything we just talked about. Think about AI.
Yeah.
Think about all the things we've done. And scientists are still like, we have no fucking idea what's going on down there. It's dark.
Yeah.
We know it's dark. And there's some fucked up fish. That's it.
Yeah, I love how this answer
That's
started
how.
already.
Like, I think about it. I work with
Thinking
someone
logical about it.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not going down there. Get the fuck out of here. And then my hands are pruning all the time. And it's like, okay, so those, I'm not being those things for sure. So I think I could sell one of those.
Yeah.
Is the logical thing. I think I could sell the mermaid. If
Definitely.
I find a mermaid,
Oh, you're a rich fella after that.
someone's buying a mermaid.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some weird motherfucker
Yeah.
who's like, finally, like, been writing fan
I
fiction
got a
about this.
tank for this fucker.
So that's sold. We're selling mermaid. I'm gonna raise the thing that you just showed
The
me.
mogwai?
I'm gonna raise
Okay.
that
Okay.
because you know what? I like its smile.
Yeah.
I like And I think that's the one that looks the most like me already,
Yeah, okay.
to where I can relate. Like we're not, but I'm
You've
like,
never seen Gremlins,
I know what you're
so
going through.
You don't know what happens to them.
Oh. Well, what happens to them?
Well, you can't feed it after midnight.
Okay.
And
Well,
also
I'm
you
not going to
can't-
feed my kids. Don't worry about it. Who's doing that?
You can't get it wet or it multiplies.
Even better.
Okay, you're all good then. You're sad.
Get it wet, but it's furry.
Yeah.
Oh, so it might smell bad.
Yeah. Well, that
The
too.
manatees don't smell great. There's not like a candle. This one smells like manatees.
Definitely. You get that. Depending on which route you I mean, but you seem like you're gonna be, you know, you can keep it away from water. I'm pretty sure they're mischievous, but
I am going to ask you this question.
okay.
And I want you to know.
Yes,
I'm kind of joking, but I'm also not sure.
I love it.
What is a manatee?
It's okay. Not everybody asks. Okay, a manatee is the sea cow. It's basically they used to mistake these for mermaids at one point in time because they saw it's like a mixture between a walrus. That's what I was trying to find out. A walrus and a porpoise.
Okay, I'm raising
Walrus
that. I'm going to raise that.
They were endangered at one point and they get ran over by boats because they want us. I won't say they're dumb, but you know, speedboats come by and they're very slow. They're very slow and dopey, and they just you know. So there's conservation habitats for them to where they're trying to. I don't think they're endangered anymore, but
Okay.
you know, that's nice that you're raising.
Well,
one.
wait till I get one. They'll be endangered soon. No. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking of. I'm gonna raise a manatee because then I don't have to worry about getting it wet.
Yeah,
I'm like, who
true.
knows what's gonna happen, you know? And I don't want more than one. So I'm gonna raise that. I'm gonna sell the mermaid. I'm going to have I'll have relations with. You said Mexican
Yeah.
is one option.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
That makes sense to me. And then the magua.
Yeah.
What was my fourth option?
Mermaid, magua, Mexican manatee. Okay, you're raising the manatee.
Yeah.
You're gonna sell the mermaid.
Mhm.
You are. Oh, you're gonna be the magua.
Oh fuck! I have to be one. Oh shit! Oh my god! That just threw a whole wrench. This is such a good question.
Yeah.
This is such a good question. That's right. That's why I'm not being the manatee or the mermaid. Okay. I'm gonna be Mexican.
Okay.
That's
so
what I
funny.
want.
All right.
Because I feel like I'll have pretty much the same life. In the magua, now I have to be in a relationship. But do I have to be a good partner?
Yeah.
Okay, then
Not
I
at
can
all.
do that. I can neglect someone. Don't worry about that.
You're real kid. You gonna raise the manatee and sell the mermaid. Oh, it's good. Oh,
You asked this question to Tyler Arsenault?
Yeah, I did.
I'm gonna have to go.
He
I have
made
to
a
go listen to
breakdown
that.
of it with his little. He made a video breakdown of it, and we have it shared on our Instagrams.
I'm going to watch that when I leave.
So fun.
That's the first thing I'm pulling up.
everybody, I say it's like a fingerprint for everybody because everybody has their own little way of going about it, and it is. Some people take a safe approach. Some people like Will. Oh my God, Will say he's gonna have a mermaid that's a Mexican or something. Mermaid Mexican kids, and they're gonna be cooking under the ocean, flautas and shit. Like, yo, son, he took it around. I was like, I ain't never. You know his mind.
Yeah.
So it's just like he ran with it, and I'm like, thank you, sir.
Yes.
That was amazing. Oh, fuck Will. A national treasure.
Will Loden,
Yeah.
national treasure. I love that. The best. One of the best.
We
for
were
sure.
supposed to have a road trip recently. We were supposed to go to Austin to do a show out at the creek in the cave.
Yeah.
That didn't fall through because they didn't sell enough tickets, Eric. But yeah, and I was like, I couldn't wait for that road trip. That would have been fun. That'd have been a good time.
I'm going with him to Arkansas next month.
Ooh,
We're going to
fun,
do You
fun.
Look Like in Arkansas.
Nice.
I'm excited.
That's awesome. But do y'all get the people beforehand who y'all gonna be?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're good about giving you about like a month notice, and you can go. Everyone shares their social media, so you can go stalk them and write your little jokes.
Right.
You really have to write jokes for everybody that's on the show too. If you want a chance to win, you gotta really do it.
Y'all are the kings of that shit. It's just like I don't want to have to write bad things about somebody.
It's hard. It's hard once you've done it. Like I've done a few now, and I'm like, it's really hard to keep. Because I feel like out the gate, I had a lot of shit to say. Yeah. But I can't use those ananymore. And now I'm like, what's left? What is left to say? Oh,
that's I never thought about. I haven't done many. That's why. But the ones that I have done, I'm like, I remember doing it once with a friend of mine. He was a real good friend, and I just talked about one thing the entire time, and I was like, this made me look like an ass, and it did okay, but it didn't do well. Like he beat me and everything just because like I just stuck to one thing, and it's like that makes me a terrible friend. I felt like that after a while. People were like, "Oh, dude, you gotta at least come up with a different joke besides just one thing that you're fixated on." It's like, yeah, now I feel stupid. So
it's hard. I got some good ones now though. The Arkansas one, people are getting called a magua.
Yeah, there you go.
Look like you look like you look like you fucked the manatee, sir.
Let them have it. Well, let everybody know where they can find you at, Josh.
Yeah, guys, you can follow me, Joshua Jordan Comedy on Instagram, Joshua Jordan on Facebook. TikTok is Joshua Jordan with 2 underscores, and that's it. Those are the 3.
Oh, that's a well-established social media right there.
Yeah.
Wow, it's real easy to follow. Follow Joshua Jordan, man. Y'all know who it is, man. Fucking tell me a joke. Got out of chasing the dream. I've been your host, Maniacal Menace Cosman. Say the whole thing like a pimp named Slickback. And until next time, man, keep dreaming, jokers. Hey.